The Chera kingdom. Not many details are available about the pre-Christian era history of the Chera, Keralputra and Satyaputra. Satyaputras. Pre-Christian era means that before 1 AD, that is in the time of BC, before Christ. Much of the information about the Chera, Keralputra and Satyaputra that is being available to us is after BC, that is at this after the in the AD, Anno Domini. Now Satyaputras. The first historical evidence about Kerala is found in the inscriptions of Ashoka, who cited 4 kingdoms: Choda, that is Chola; Pada, that is Pandya; Ketalapoto, that is Keralputra; and Satyapoto, that is Satyaputra, in the south of his empire. Keralputra and Satyaputra is mentioned in the Rock Edict 2 and Girnar inscription. However, it referred to which territory and which dynasty was mostly unknown. The historians have identified it with the portions of Malaya mountains of the Western Ghats and certain lowlands around those areas. Satyaputra are mentioned in the Puranas and Tamil literature as well. In the Ashoka's edicts, they find their place with the Cholas, Pandyas and Keralputra. In the Ashoka's edicts, they find their place with Cholas, Pandyas and Keralputra. This means that Satyaputra had rose to prominent power by the time of Ashoka. However, after that there are not many details available about this dynasty. Keral. The word Keral is of Prakrit origin and is not available in Sangam texts. The etymological identity of Keral and Chera link them, but it was not certain that whether the present Keral was the Chera kingdom. However, the Pandyas, Cheras and the Cholas were mentioned in the surviving Tamil literature, comprising of Chila Patikaram and Tirukural, etc., complementing their mention in the existing Sanskrit literature, viz. Puranas, Vedas, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Few historians now believe that ancient Chera kingdom included the today's Kerala, but separately in 389 AD, and the Chera realm was restricted to Tamil Nadu around Coimbatore and southern parts of Karnataka. Few historians now believe that ancient Chera kingdom included the today's Kerala, but separated in 389 AD, and the Chera realm was restricted to Tamil Nadu around Coimbatore and southern parts of Karnataka. Insignia of Cheras, bow and arrow. The Chera kings adopted the bow and arrow as a crest or cognizance of their dynasty. They released a few coins which were characterized by a bow device engraved on them. Though the authentic list of the Rajas of Travancore and that of Cochin is from beginning of the 13th century and 15th century onwards, yet the Chera dynasty is considered to be the two dynasties that ruled in two different areas. The first Chera dynasty ruled from 300 BC to 300 AD in the Sangam era, and the another dynasty from 9th century onwards. The only source of knowledge of the first Chera dynasty is the Sangam text. Cheras ruled in North Travancore, Cochin and southern Malabar. Capital of the early Cheras was Vanchi Muthur in Kizanthur Kandalur, and Karur Vanchi, and the later Cheras was Mahodayapuram, Kulashekharpuram. Now the first Cheras, Uthyan Cheralathan. First recorded king of the Cheras is Uthyan Cheralathan, who ruled any time between 1st to 3rd century AD. He fought numerous battles, and in one such battle with Cholas, he was defeated, and due to humiliation, he committed suicide. That was a common practice those days. The second king of the Chera dynasty was Imaya Varamban Nedum Cheralathan. Imavaramban Nedum Nedum and Cheralathan Cheralatan, who died in a battle with Chola kings. The next important ruler was Sengul Tuvan, Senguttuvan, who is a hero of a famous Tamil epic, Sila Pathikaram. Sengu Tuvan is best known for sending the first embassy to China from South India. His capital was Karur. The navy of Senghu Watan was the best navy in the world. Now second Cheras, later Cheras. Kulasekhara Alvar, a Tamil king in 800 AD, found the second Chera dynasty. He had united the parts of modern Kerala and ruled them from his capital, Mahodayapuram, that is today's Kodungallur, Kudungallur. Kulasekhara wrote Perumal Thirumozi, one of the most celebrated devotional works on the Tamil Bhakti cult. He renounced the crown to become a Vaishnavite saint and lived in Srirangam. After Kulasekhara Alvar, all kings are insignificant and some of them became saints. The last Chera king was Ramavarma Kulasekhara, who ruled from 1090 to 1102 AD. His contemporary Chola ruler was Kulothunga Chola I, Kulothunga Chola I, with whom he fought a war. His life is shrouded in mystery as after this war, he is supposed to have left India and embraced Islam. This ended the Chera dynasty and the rulers were confined to the area around Travancore. The Chola Empire. As per the traditions, the Chola country or Chola Mandalam was the area bound on the north by the Pennar, south by the Velaru river, at eastern coast of Bay of Bengal from Nellore, and Padukottai to west until Coorg. Its most ancient capital was Urayur, Urayur, near the Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu. Therefore, the heartland was the fertile valley of the river Kaveri. The Chola dynasty is one of the longest ruling dynasties of South India, and it existed from 300 BC until late 13th century AD. Though the territorial limits kept varying from time to time. This period of around 1500 years can be divided into four parts. Early Cholas. The early Cholas refer to the Chola kingdom of the Sangam age from 300 BC to 200 AD. Most of the information about this we have in the form of the Sangam literature, legends and religion texts of Buddhism and Jainism. The Dark Period. After this early Chola kingdom fell, there is a dark period in which they existed but insignificantly. Now medieval Cholas. The rise of the medieval Cholas is from 850 AD, when Vijayalaya Chola of Thanjore re-established the Chola power in South India. These Chola kings ruled till 1070 AD and the Chola Mandalam flourished. Later Cholas. From 1070 AD till 1279 AD is the period assigned to the later Cholas. During this time, the Chola Empire reached its zenith and became the most powerful country of the world. These Cholas colonized the Southeast Asian countries and had the most powerful army and navy of the world at that time. Now early Cholas. Not much authentic information is available about the early Chola kingdom. The main source of its knowledge is the Sangam literature. The other sources are Periplus of the Erythraean Sea. Periplus of the Erythraean Sea. Periplus, Periplus of the Erythraean, Erythraean Sea, Erythraean Sea, which is a work of an anonymous merchant of Alexandria. Other sources are works of Ptolemy, Mahavamsa, the Buddhist text of Ceylon, then the Pillars of Ashoka, then Hathi Gumfa description of Kharvela, who was the Kalinga king, and other numerous stone inscriptions found at various parts in the southern peninsula. So these are the sources from which we derive the knowledge about the early Cholas. Early Cholas who existed from the period of around 300 BC to 200 AD. Now Karikala Chola, Karikala, Karikala Chola. The most significant early Chola ruler is Karikala Chola, who ruled around 270 BC and is mentioned in the Sangam literature. The meaning of his name is Kari plus Kalan, Kari plus Kalan, Kalan, refers to slayer of elephant, but also means the one with burnt limbs. This indicates a fire accident in his early age, which left his legs charred, Charred. One of the Sangam poems testifies this. Karikala Chola is best known for winning the famous Battle of Veni, Veni, Battle of Battle of Veni, in which both the Pandyas and Cheras were crushed by him. The current location of Veni is near Thanjore. The Battle of Veni was a turning point in his career, and he was established as a firm power in the south. Some legends say that he won the whole of Ceylon kingdom after the Battle of Veni. World's earliest water regulator structure in stone at Kalanai, Kallanai, that is also known as Grand Anicut, Grand, Grand Anicut, Anicut, on river Kaveri, was built by Karikala Chola. It was constructed mainly to divert the water from the Kaveri river for irrigation. This dam stands at a huge mass of 329 meters, 1080 feet long and 20 meters 60 feet wide, across the main stream of the Kaveri, and is a major tourist attraction today. Medieval Cholas. From the 3rd century AD to the 9th century AD is the interregnum in the Chola dynasty. The Chola hegemony over Pandyas and Cheras was lost after the close of the Sangam era, and South India was disturbed by the predatory activities of the Kalabhras, Kalabhras. Kalabhras was probably a tribal clan from Deccan, and they did not speak Tamil. They might be the ascendants of the Satavahana, whose empire had demised by the early 3rd century AD. Kalabhras were patrons of Buddhism and not Jainism, and also Jainism. Kalabhras were patrons of Buddhism and also Jainism. The demise of the Satavahana dynasty in Deccan created a chaos, and out of this chaos, the Kalabhras tried to create a niche for themselves. They invaded the southern Tamil countries, which were not in a position to counter-attack. The Pallavas drove out the Kalabhras. Later, most of the Chola territories were lost to Pandyas and Pallavas. In the medieval period, Chalukyas rose to power. The Cholas and Chalukyas kept fighting over control on Vengi kingdom for a longer period of time. Vijayalaya Chola. The first medieval Chola ruler was Vijayalaya, who in 848 AD re-established the Chola rule. His capital was Thanjore. The question whether Vijayalaya was from the same Chola dynasty is not resolved. Vijayalaya was able to get benefit from the Pandya-Pallava rivalry. He perhaps captured Thanjore in 848 AD by removing the Mutharayars, 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 a family that belonged to the Pandya clan or was a feudatory of the Pandyas. Vijayalaya was a Pallava feudatory. Because of this victory, the Cholas became powerful, and Vijayalaya wiped out both the Pandyas and the Pallavas from the Thanjore area. Vijayalaya renovated Thanjore and built Soleshwara temple at Padukottai, Padukko. The rise of the Chola power miffed both the Pallavas and the Pandyas. The Pandya king Varagunavarman II and Pallava king Nandivarman III became allies to block the rising Chola power. Nandivarman III died in 869 AD, and a dispute arose between his son Nripatunga and Aparajita Pallava, stepbrother of Nripatunga. Aparajita came in the side of the Cholas. The armies of Chola and the Pandya met at Sripurambiam near Kumbakonam. Aditya Chola I led the Cholas. Aditya Chola I was the son of Vijayalaya, and he succeeded him after his death. At Sripurambiam, he led the Chola army, as his father was ailing with age-related problems. In this war, he defeated the Pandya forces. The victory was of Aparajita, but Aditya Chola reaped the real benefit. A few years later, Aditya Chola I attacked the Pallavas and killed Aparajita. This was the end of the Pallava dynasty, and whole territory of Pallava, capital Kanchi, was annexed to the Chola kingdom. Thus, the power of the Cholas was further consolidated by Aditya Chola I. He was a great Shiva devotee and built a large number of Shiva temples on the banks of river Kaveri. With Cheras, he had friendly relations. He died in 907 AD. And his son Parantaka Chola I succeeded him. Now, facts about Parantaka Chola I. The foundation of the Chola kingdom by Vijayalaya and Aditya Chola I was further enhanced by the Parantaka Chola I. His reign was from 907 AD to 955 AD. Just 3 years of ascending to the throne, he attacked the Pandyas and captured Madura and assumed the title Madura Konda. The Pandya king was Maravarman Rajsimha II. Maravarman Rajsimha II prayed the king of Ceylon for help, who sent an army for aid to Maravarman Rajsimha II. However, Parantaka Chola defeated the combined army badly. Maravarman Rajsimha II fled to Ceylon, and the whole of Madura and Pandya territory were merged in the Chola kingdom. This victory earned him the title of Madurayam Elamam Konda Parakesari Varman, the conqueror of Madura and Ceylon. This means that the conqueror of Madura and Ceylon. Madurayam, Madurayum, Elamam, Elamum, Konda, Konda, and Parakesari Varman, Parakesarivaran. This means the conqueror of Madura and Ceylon. Apart from this major war, Parantaka I also led some other minor wars. His 48-year reign was otherwise peaceful and prosperous. When he died in 955 AD, his second son, Gandharaditya Chola, succeeded him. This is because Rajaditya, the son and successor of Parantaka, was killed in battle with Krishna Raja I, the Rashtrakuta king, in 949 AD. Now, Gandharaditya Chola was insignificant ruler, and 30 years from 955 AD to 985 AD, the Chola country was ruled by 5 Chola princes, all insignificant. Finally, in 1985 AD, Rajaraja Chola I ascended the throne. Now, Rajaraja Chola I. The birth name of Rajaraja Chola I was Arulmozi Varman. He was also known as Arunmozi Udayar Periya Udayar. The 30-year period of the dynastic intrigue was put to an end by the Rajaraja Chola I. He was such an able king that for the period of the next 20 years he achieved so many victories that when he died in 1014 AD, he was beyond dispute the Lord Paramount of the southern India. His territory included today's whole of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, parts of Andhra Pradesh, parts of Odisha, whole of Kerala and Sri Lanka. The adjacent graphics shows the territories. The first 8 years of his reign were utilized by Rajaraja Chola I for organizing and augmenting his army. Since ages, the Pandyas, Cheras and Sinhala were against the Cholas. The first attack was on Chera king Bhaskar Ravi Varman, Thiruvadi, and in this campaign in Kerala, Rajaraja I destroyed a fleet in the port of Kandalur. However, some sources say that the port was under Pandyas. This conquest led him to assume the title Mummudi Chola, Mummudichola, Chola, the wearer of 3 crowns, Chera, Chola and Pandya. In Ceylon, Mahinda V was the king. In 991 AD, the army of Mahinda V mutinied against him, and Mahinda fled to take refuge in southern region of the island. This was an opportunity used by Rajaraja I, who attacked Ceylon in 993 AD. The army of Rajaraja I crossed the ocean by ships, burnt Ceylon and destroyed Anuradhapur, the capital of the Sinhala kings of Ceylon. Rajaraja could win half of the northern island of Sri Lanka, and his son Rajendra Chola I won rest of the territories in the island. In 998 to 999 AD, he captured parts of the modern Karnataka from the Ganga kings. By the turn of the millennium, Western Chalukyan dynasty had rose to prominent power in the north of Cholas. Rajaraja I was victorious against the Western Chalukyan king Satyashraya, son of Tailapa II. When the war with the Western Chalukyas concluded, the Tungabhadra river became the northern frontier of the Chola kingdom. He conquered Vengi and subsequently Kalinga. The last conquest was on Maldives, most probably. The Rajarajeshwaram temple at Thanjore, which is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, was built by Rajaraja Chola. It is known as Brihadeshwara temple or Peruvudayar Kovil, Peruvudayar Kovil, devoted to Lord Shiva. The temple was built by him on a command given by his Lord Shiva in dream. The temple is a testimony to the Chola power and wealth at the time of Rajaraja Chola I. Stories of his victory have been engraved on the walls of this temple. Rajaraja Chola I was a worshipper of Shiva, but he was a liberal-minded king who endowed a Burmese Buddhist temple, Chudamani Vihara, at the port of Nagapattam, which survived till 19th century, when in 1867 it was pulled down and the Jesuit Gesuit priests erected Christian building over them. Rajaraja Chola I died in 1014 AD and was succeeded by his son Rajendra Chola, who was declared crown prince in 1012 AD. The powerful standing army and a great navy organized under Rajaraja Chola I achieved even great successes under Rajendra Chola. Rajendra Chola I. Rajendra Chola I succeeded his father Rajaraja Chola I in 1014 AD and reigned till 1044 AD. He was an able son and prince. He continued the ambitious career of his father and added more and more territories to the Chola dominions. The powerful standing army and a great navy organized under Rajaraja Chola I achieved even greater success under Rajendra Chola. Rajendra Chola I was declared crown prince in 1012 AD, but he was active with his father since 1002 AD, when he conquered the Rashtrakuta country on behalf of his father. He also led a campaign against the Western Chalukyan king Satyashraya and his successor Jayasimha II, crossing the Tungabhadra river and attacking them at the heart of their capital, ruining the Chalukyas. Only after 4 years after he became the king, in 1018, he declared his eldest son, Rajadhiraj, as crown prince. Only after 4 years of becoming king. That is in 1018. Now, conquest of Ceylon by Rajendra Chola. In 1018 AD, he led a campaign on Elam, Sri Lanka. The powerful navy of Rajendra Chola I overran the Sri Lankan capital Anuradhapur. The Sinhala king Mahinda V was taken prisoner and was transported to the Chola country. He was held a prisoner for 12 years and died in captivity. The whole of Sri Lanka, Iramandalam, was conquered by Rajendra Chola I. Conquest of other empires. In 1021, he turned his attention to the Western Chalukyan Empire and defeated Jayasimha II in the Battle of Maski. Jayasimha II was returned his territory and was made a tributary subordinate. He also subdued the eastern Chalukyas. After that, his forces marched to Kalinga and reached the Pala kingdom, where they met with forces of Mahipala and defeated them. The weight of the Chola arms was felt by almost all the northern kingdoms in his 2-year campaign. Victory over the Chalukyas, Kalingas, Palas and Gangas etc. led him to assume the title Gangaikonda, Gangaikonda. Naval conquests of Rajendra Chola. In 1025 AD, the naval forces of Rajendra Chola I crossed the ocean and attacked Sri Vijaya kingdom, Sumatra, of Sangram Vijaya Tungavarman. Attacked the Sri Vijaya Srivijaya kingdom, Sumatra Sumatra of Sangram Sangrama Vijaya Tungavarman, Vijaya Tungavarman. The capital Kadaram, part of Malaya, was sacked and its king was made a prisoner. Along with Kadaram, the Sumatra and Malayur, Malaiyur and Sumatra Sumatra were attacked and sacked. Kedah in today's Malaysia, Kedah in today's Malaysia was also attacked and occupied. Now, the relations of Cholas with China. Cholas had good relations with the contemporary Chinese kingdoms. The contemporary Chinese rulers were from the Song dynasty, Song, who sent a mission to the Chola country in 1015 AD to Rajaraja Chola I and again in 1033 AD to Rajendra Chola I. The commercial trade was extensive between them, and today's Southeast Asian territories might have been the midway in trade routes, which indicate a reason of enmity between Cholas and these countries. The Chera kingdom. Not many details are available about the pre-Christian era history of the Chera, Keralputra and Satyaputra.